Hello, team. Today the presentation is on assertiveness. The class is professional and personal care. So with this in mind, I spoke a little bit about it last week. So the scenario is that you are a therapist and I'm a trainer to therapist for an EAP program, Employee Assistance Program. You will be training HR professionals on how to be assertive when they are facilitating conversations with their business leaders and at companies. So I'm going to get started. I'm trying to to go to the next slide, but for whatever reason, it's not moving. And this is the first time that happens to me. It's staying on the what is it, on the title. Oh,
Okay, and
yeah.
there's,
Let me see if I make, yeah, it's kind of
it seems like it's probably
froze.
more to do with your PowerPoint.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
Try it again.
yeah, so I'm gonna try it again.
You also can stop recording and then record it again. It helps with,
I'll just
shorter
stop.
video.
Oh, sorry. Okay, what I will do is I will have it on this mode. Okay, so we're going to talk about understanding assertiveness, the benefits, challenges, strategies, an activity high level because of the time that we have, a role play at high level, and aligning with organizational goals when we are looking to be assertive in the best interest of the company, how to handle difficult conversations with assertiveness, key takeaways, and conclusion. So the purpose is to equip HR professionals with assertiveness skills to serve as trusted advisors and align decisions with organizational goals, and most important as well, compliance like labor laws and ethics with the companies. So this, through an objective, it will foster self-advocacy, ethical decision making, and also collaboration with the leaders that HR is supporting. The audience is HR professionals advising supervisors, managers, or directors. That's the target audience. So mid HR level, not supporting, let's say, executives. The challenge is balancing how to be assertive with collaboration to address misaligned requests while maintaining trust. And this is a quote: assertiveness is not about being loud or aggressive. It's about standing up for what's right with clarity, respect, and confidence. So it comes with the grace. So, what is assertiveness? From the American Psychological Association, it's expressing thoughts and needs confidently while respecting others. It's that balance between equilibrium between passivity and aggression, promoting clear communication at the end of the day. Why is it important for human resources and the clients that you will see in a workshop in the next month as therapists? They support ethical and legal compliance, and this can be high pressure environment, building trust and influence as leaders, enhancing communication with leadership. What are benefits of assertiveness in HR and also in even other leaders as well? But the topic is HR. You enhance communication. You articulate it clearly, and you set boundaries. It's easier to address conflict resolution when you are coming from an assertiveness place, and it builds respect and recognition as a trusted advisor. I had the gift of being assertive in my role in HR, and I went from one facility to overseeing four. So I felt really good that I could be assertive and build a relationship first, no matter what, in order to be assertive with someone in conflict. Organizational alignment ensures decisions align with company goals, values, and labor laws, and ethics as well. What are challenges for someone to be assertive? It could be misconceptions. HR, you work for different companies and HR works there. Some leaders see HR as a like a paper processor versus a strategic advisor that is there to support them to make decisions in alignment with goals, values, ethics, laws. There's ethical dilemmas. Requests may conflict with values or labor laws. Balancing act is maintaining that collaboration while being able to communicate with leaders and educate them. Emotional pressure, HR professionals as listeners may face stress in rejecting unethical request. What are some strategies? Above all, we ought to be self-aware of where we're coming from as HR professionals and our vulnerabilities, our opportunities when we communicate, what triggers me when someone is talking with me. It's important to set boundaries, clearly define the roles and responsibilities when meeting with leaders. And this is something that, to guide HR professionals that when they start a role or get promoted, to do a meet and greet and set boundaries as far as the roles with their leaders that they are supporting. And then also level set before meetings, before projects begin. So there's no surprises at the end of the day. Use I statements, for instance, when sharing feedback, such as I will be sharing with the team the California laws that impact this dynamic in order for us to be compliant and come to a decision, so that there's the expectation. Active listening, ensuring that when you're speaking with the leader that you validate. So something as from what I hear you say, it is vital that overtime is reduced during second shift. So then validating to that leader that you are understanding what they're saying and you care. Preparing and rehearse. If you're going to be having a key conversation that might have some pushback from the leader, it's important that we embody ourselves in what that might be like, and even practicing what the pushback might be, the questions, the comments. Okay. And this is a assertiveness self-assessment that you will be able to conduct in your workshops when you facilitate them, ladies and gentlemen. And it has 5 questions that are rated from 1 to 5. And these are going to be passed out when you do your training, and you're going to be doing this assessment. It says objective, help HR professionals evaluate their assertiveness style and identify areas of improvement. And then there's going to be 5 minutes to complete the questions. A couple of the questions that is such as, do I voice my opinion during discussions or do I remain silent? Am I comfortable saying no to non-compliant requests? Am I comfortable leading a discussion and options to solve the request? So instead of just saying no, are we able to move the needle with discussing what are the other options that we can have to reach to a healthy decision? And for the purpose of this presentation, because it's short, I will move on to the next one. I do want to ask if there's any questions or comments. Feel free to ask now, or we can at the end, because at the end I know I need a couple of questions or comments for the purpose of this activity. So a role play that we have is the following. And I wanted to see if one of you can be the role of the manager, and then one of you could be HR in this role play. This is a very, very short role play of a dialogue that has comments from the manager and then from HR. And the scenario is a manager requests HR to approve a policy exception that violates overtime labor law. This is for California, by the way. Objective is practice assertive communication to educate and propose alternatives. Instruction, pair up one HR professional and one manager. HR explains why the request cannot be processed, citing legal and ethical concerns. Use I statements, active listening, and propose a compliant alternative. The great thing is that the wording is there for the purpose of this. I wanted to see who could be the manager and start it, and then who could be HR, and then HR has two bullets, so it's the manager has one bullet, then HR has two, and at the end the manager ends it. Um, no, hello. I wanted to see if, please kindly, if you could help me and two volunteers.
I can, Luz. My connection's not great, but if you can
Oh,
hear
okay,
me.
thank you. And then I think Hatia was going to say something too.
Yes, I
Okay.
wanted to be another one.
Yeah, so Mandy, since you mentioned first, who do you want to be? And then Katia will take the other one.
Oof.
Oh, either one. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Katia,
Give me the easiest one. I don't know which one is going to be the easiest one.
well, the manager probably, both are easy,
I'm
but
going to be the manager.
okay, start it. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I need you to approve this overtime exception for yesterday for my second shift team.
I understand your budget apprehensions. The team has been exceeding expectations with budget. Coming from a spirit of advising, I'm concerned this request violates labor regulations of overtime pay requirements after 8 hours in a day. I'd like us to explore alternative scheduling options that align with our policies. We can then implement a scheduling change that meets for compliance and business needs. Yeah.
Okay, I think I get it. I will speak to the supervisor to ensure he complies. Sure, let's meet today or tomorrow on a path forward with the second shift scheduling to prevent overtime and reach productivity. And thank you for your time.
Nice job.
Thank you. Any feedback or any questions on that? Yeah, so you know, the one thing about this, it's not basically saying yeah, you no, or talk to my manager. It's not combative, it's cohesive, right? Does it happen like that all the time? No, but when you seek to understand and work with someone, then it's a lot easier. Okay, we'll go to the next one. So aligning with organizational goals. So when you look at the end in mind, it's important to educate leaders, explain how decisions impact company goals and values. So it's more than just processing, right? Educating and staying in tune with the goals of the company, the vision. Reference labor laws, do your homework, have those key points written. Propose alternatives, offer solutions that balance leader needs with compliance. Document decisions, maintain records to ensure transparency and accountability. Especially, HR is involved with audits as well, so this will be a good paper trail of that conversation. With this as well, on handling difficult conversations, and this is a lot of the information that we know from our field, right? From when counseling clients, stay calm, use mindfulness to manage emotions. Be firm and respectful, clearly state boundaries without aggression. There could be a time when someone comes and says, I'm going to call your manager if you don't help me. So it's important to embody that, what is it, that mindfulness and, in a sense, not take it personal at all. And during this, what could be a charged environment. I actually had a situation where somebody did that and closed the door and started raising their voice at me. You know, um, yeah, I won't go into detail, but it was very interesting. Yeah. Acknowledge perspectives, validate leader concerns to maintain collaboration. Sometimes you might need to take a break if the person might, become emotionally charged and speak later the next day. Communicate consequences, highlight risks of non-compliance, legal or ethical issues, for example. Key takeaways of the information. Assertiveness enables HR to lead with confidence, fostering trust and influence. And this could apply for anybody in any role who is basically influencing people and leading. Clear communication and boundary setting, align decisions with organizational goals. Active listening and I statements promote collaboration while maintaining a stand. Self-assessment and role play enhance assertiveness skills in challenging situations. Continuous learning strengthens HR role as a strategic advisor. So one thing that I've learned a long time ago is that when we're going to a training, when we enter to learn. And when we leave that training is when we leave to achieve what we have learned. So it's important to really, from here on, practice, build these scripts such as the one we had, so you can practice and then be in these situations and feel comfortable in your own skin. Confident tone, clear articulation, and active listening can strengthen your assertive communication and foster trust in the HR relationship. In conclusion, assertiveness is a critical skill for HR professionals to navigate complex workplace dynamics. By balancing firmness with empathy, HR can educate leaders, uphold ethics, and drive positive change. Commit to practicing assertiveness daily to become a trusted and influential advisor. You know, you could be saving the company millions of dollars in a possible action, lawsuit. For instance, litigation. For instance, if HR person said, "Oh, you know what? Go ahead and do it this time," and an employee ends up quitting and says, during this week they had me work overtime and they didn't pay me, then a lawyer will request a file. They will go through discovery, and they could find out other vulnerabilities, saying it could cost the company a lot of money. Call to action: implement one assertive strategy this week and reflect on its impact. Create that script based on a possible scenario that you might receive, based on company practices and people, and practice it at the end of the day. We are complete with the session. I wanted to see questions, comments that we might have.
I really like your presentation. I know we're supposed to have comments, so I will just emails are good tracked, and I don't know if I missed that, but having an email with HR, making sure HR has a record, and you know what I mean, going back and forth with the employee in email.
Yeah, you know what? When I thought of the topic of assertiveness, I didn't connect the dots with like putting in an email, but it goes with there's a
Yeah.
sentence on keeping the paper trail, so then
Yeah,
you can add the line of for instance, send an email after the meeting to recap the discussion.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I love that. Thank you, Wendy.
yeah.
I will add that.
And thank you so much, Luz, for bringing this topic, because I didn't think about go further than, the psychology view of assignments, and each assignment we have, all of us, I think most of us just look at in a psychology field, community-based, but, related to psychology. But I never thought about organizational psychology. Like, yeah, I think the assignment sorry, the
Yeah.
presentation you gave us is more like I forgot what was that, industrial psychology.
Yeah.
And I think that's also really good, because not when I started getting my MFT, I was thinking about individual, but I never thought about you could be an HR and also could be a marriage family therapist and work at that field for an organization specifically. And that was really interesting. And thank you. You gave us a great points, and thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate your feedback.
So I think that, it's Dr. Tracy, I think that assertiveness in any profession or in for any professional is so important, especially when you're in a field that is you're working with people who are in conflict or have emotional difficulties, are trying to balance work with home life and so forth. I mean, I think assertiveness is so important as far as on the from the professional. And what you're doing with assertiveness is you are also modeling to your client, to your employee, about what it's like to be appropriate in their behavior, having getting their needs met, but doing it in an appropriate way. So my question to you, Luz,
Yeah.
is that you could have picked many different approaches to this assertiveness training, but why did you choose this particular area of assertiveness training?
Yeah, so I worked in human resources from 98 to 2024. And, you know, I enjoyed moving to different companies after like 4 years, for instance. So I saw all these different personalities, different faces, similar personalities, right? And I saw where leaders there was one type of leader, and that's how HR as a paper processor, and yes sir, yes sir, or someone that could say, well, Luz, let's discuss, why do you recommend this or why not, let's talk about it, right? And where it became harder is when someone had a higher title and expected you to make it happen regardless of whether it violated the law or not, right? Yeah, so then it became stressful to work in that environment, right? So then I thought, when the topic of assertiveness came in my class, it was in general, and I picked this topic. So hopefully I can provide that training to HR professionals. I'm a part of a group, so I want to volunteer to provide the training and maybe help people gain confidence and be more influential and save the company a lot of money, and also gain healthy relationships with their business partners, as you said, Doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. And two, you could take this one step further and of what you just said, and that is apart from helping your clients or those who you're working with, like in an HR situation, which are who are employees, you can also help your colleagues. You can help your associates. Like, say you are in an agency and you might see one of your colleagues that is really could improve their performance in dealing with clients or dealing with whomever in the agency, you could reach out and in an assertive and constructive way help them. So this is also for you helping your associates and your colleagues, right? You might someday find yourself in private practice, and assertiveness, healthy assertiveness is so important in a private practice because there's a lot of dynamics going on and various egos and so forth. So yeah, I like it. So it's something that you can really apply at many different levels. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, that definitely. I was thinking of that EAP Employee Assistance Program hat. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Wow, you
yeah.
have a lot of experience. Great job, by the
Um,
way.
yeah, thank you so much. I really
Great job.
appreciate it. Anybody else? So I can stop recording.
Oh, it seems to me, I'm not sure what the definition of, would be of being assertive, but it seems to me that it would be, I know it's not being aggressive and it's not being passive, and I know it's having confidence and I know it's being respectful. Is there or maybe I missed it, but is there a particular definition that you provided?
Yeah, it was from the American Psychological Association. Let me see, what did it say? Okay, it said, so from American Psychological Association, assertiveness is expressing thoughts and needs confidently, while respecting others.
Got
So
it. Okay.
you know, it's a thoughts and needs. So, which is really unique. Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting. Thoughts and needs.
Yeah. I didn't think of it as needs, but it makes
Right.
sense. Yeah. Aaron, I really like the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Great presentation.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? I'll stop recording.